Hi everyone, this is Carmina. Welcome back to my channel, Your Stars Aligned. There's also a website I have with the same name where you can find more articles about cards or astrology, and also you can find info on readings that I offer. So anyway, today on this gloomy and lovely November day, I thought I'd do another video since somebody called Pamela, hi Pamela, in the comment section, she asked me if I could do a video on face cards, and I thought, why not? Okay, so uh, as you know, if you've been watching my other videos, I use the Cards of Truth system as taught by Ernst Wilhelm. And if you want to learn that system in more detail, you can visit his website, cardsoftruth.com. So I'm going to start by saying that in this card system, there is a birth card assigned to every day of the year, right? But these cards are not proportionately assigned, right? So you will have, for instance, since we're talking about face cards now, you'll have the King of Spades and the Queen of Spades show up only once every year, and you'll have the King of clubs show up 12 times. So you can see like the disparity, and that also like makes you think on the different suits. So the spades is the suit that's more preoccupied with the self development. So the nitty gritty hard work that you have to do on your own with yourself. So it's probably the least, probably definitely the least fun of the four suits, right? So yeah, so it also takes a lot of sacrifice. The king is the face card that sacrifices the most, and especially the King of Spades is the card that sacrifices themselves, right? That sacrifices everything, that overcomes all the limitations so that they can become a better person, a better whatever. So yeah, let's see. Okay, since we were talking about the spades, they're the first suit. We're gonna start with the Jack of Spades. I also want to mention that the face cards, they carry the energy of the pip cards or number cards. So when you see a jack, you will know that it carries within the energy of the ace, the 2, and the 3 of spades, which is this first stage, especially in spades, is a very risky stage. It's some fight for survival, right? So the Jack of Spades has been called in card literature, it has been called the orphan card. It shows somebody that has to do whatever it takes to survive. It's the least fun of all the jacks. It can be a spy, a soldier, a thief, anybody that takes a great risk to survive, to live, you know. Also, as a person, if there's somebody who has this birth card, there's somebody more solitary because they carry especially the energy of the Ace of Spades. They're more preoccupied inwards, they won't stick around a lot. And if this card shows up in as an ecliptic card in a year spread, it points to the Uranus card, right? Because jacks correspond to the Uranus card. Uh, yeah, also the Jack of Spades can become a really reliable person once they mature, but at the Jack stage, they are not really reliable, they are more temporary. So if it shows up in like a compatibility spread, it's somebody who will not really look after you, but will look after their own development, right? Because they're under this pressure of surviving. So romance is not really on their mind. The next card is the Queen of Spades. In a spread, if it points to a person, it can relate to like a cruel woman. Yeah, I'm using the My Little Pony card deck because I've had it for a while and I love it. So it can relate to somebody cruel or self-reliant, somebody that makes the hard decisions. If it shows up reverse, it can point to somebody that's too lazy to do whatever it takes. As for the Jack of Spades, when it shows up reverse, it can point to somebody who's really not doing ethical things, or somebody who's just doing what other people say and not being themselves, right? They're not acting the way they want. So yeah, she's the champion of self-reliance, the Queen of Spades. She relates to, as every queen, to the Neptune card, and she carries within the energies of the 4, 5, and 6 of spades, especially the 5 of spades, right? And she will reach that full maturation of the 6 of spades. Okay, the next card is one that I already talked about a little. It's also called the Destroyer card. You wouldn't like think about it seeing this cute little pony. But since it's a fixed card, it relates to overcoming limitations, to overcoming your lower self, to doing really like the hard work and really long-lasting changes. It can point to the physical demise of the body under certain uh, combinations, because it also manifests the energy of the cards at the end of the spade cycle, which are the 7, 8, and 9 of spades. And it relates to the purifier, to Pluto, the Pluto card, right? And if it comes up reverse, it can be that you still will need to make these very tough and ego-shredding changes, but you will be forced to. The circumstances will force you to. You won't do it willingly. So yeah, it's a tough card, but I think it's a very worthwhile card. I think it is, no matter what I think. Okay, let's move on to a more sweet heart suit, the heart suit. Hearts also don't show up so many times. I think like 6, 7 times, but still a lot more than the spade suit. And the Jack of Hearts is the most long-lasting of the jacks, because it points um, to long-term changes in attitude, in feelings, in the way you see something. Um, for instance, it can point in a birth spread or in a card spread, it can point to the birth of a baby. If other factors are inclined for that event to happen, it can also bring you a romance, but ideally it's best to have as romantic partners a queen or a king, because they're more reliable, they put in the hard work, right? So anyway, this is a very nice card to have in a year in your birth spread. And when it shows up also in a normal spread, I really like this card, the Jack of Hearts. And it can also point to a new business or something like that, something that you're passionate about, because hearts are all about passion, about doing things passionately, right? The Queen of Hearts is classically called the mother card, right? So it's somebody very protective, very caring. If it shows a person, if it's reversed, it can be somebody who's smothering or very jealous, possessive. And yeah, it can show up, when it shows up in a spread, it can point to a pregnancy, the Queen of Hearts. So yeah, that's about it. Oh, and queens, as all queens, they relate to the Neptune card. And you know, as I was saying, she carries the energy of the 4, 5, and 6 of hearts. The King of Hearts is the person that sacrifices their own feelings, their own emotions for the benefit of others, like core kings do. They sacrifice themselves for their kingdom. So yeah, the King of Hearts sacrifices their heart. It's a very nice card if you are doing some relationship spread and you get this as a romantic partner, because you know they will put you first. King of Hearts. Now moving on to the clubs. The first one is a Jack of Clubs. As all the Jacks, a more transitory card. It's and related to clubs, which is ideas, intellectually self-focused things. It's somebody that starts a lot of projects, that has a lot of idea, a lot of inspiration, but it's good at starting. It's not good at sticking with it, right? And leave it to the Queen of Clubs to do the hard work. I've heard the Queen of Clubs being called like a business person, but I think it's more, it has more to do with making the best and most inspired choice, because it's a black 5, and black 5s relate to the Judgment card, right, in tarot. And yeah, so it really helps you make the most centered and the most inspired choice and run with it, right? To get you from the 5 to 4, 5 to the 6 of fulfillment with your inspiration. So that's the Queen of Clubs. The King of Clubs can be intellectually cold person. It can be somebody that reached a very high level of intellectual skill. It can be a psychologist, an university professor, an astrologer, somebody very specialized with their skill, right? Yeah, because it's a club, they also have to make like sacrifices in ideas. It's good when you get this King of Clubs under a Saturn or a Pluto card, because you will get rid of ideas that no longer serve you. So you will know how to rid of things, because all kings contain that destructive element, but destructive for a greater good, right? If this comes up upside down, it can show somebody who's quite dictatorial, tyrannical. So yeah, it's less pleasant if it shows up upside down. Okay, then moving on to the last but not least, diamond suit, which relates to talent, to skills, to concrete realization, finances. So the first one is the Jack of Diamonds. This is probably the most fun card, a very temporary card. It's called the salesman card, but it's also somebody who, not in that mercantile sense of making you buy stuff that you don't want. Like a good salesman is somebody that shows the value in things, and it makes you feel worth of acquiring something new. So it's somebody that makes you feel good about yourself, somebody that makes you appreciate the present moment, somebody that shows the worth that you have in you. So it's a really nice card, a really nice and fun card, but not a card like you would want to marry. Or maybe you would. Okay, so this Queen of Diamonds. This is a very skilled financial manager, like very good with finances, with diamonds, very energetic. Of all the queens, maybe she's the most energetic queen, right? She, like all the queens, no, I wanted to say when the Queen of Clubs, this Queen of Clubs is the most, traveling queen, because in a spread it goes out, it goes through all the positions, right, in quadrations. And so this is like Vishnu because it goes everywhere, it's omnipresent. But this queen, she's very focused on manifesting her skill. She can be like ruthless, especially if it's upside down. But yeah, if you're like doing a financial spread, or like if you're asking if you're gonna get a new job and you get this Queen of Diamonds, this is a great financial card, right? This is like you're gonna be a great manager of your finances. And a last of our little video will be the King of Diamonds. So as every king has to sacrifice something, the King of Diamonds will sacrifice their finances. This can point to a person that's very charitable, very generous, a philanthropist. It can also point to a person that reached a high level with their skill, like a very skilled person, like a very talented musician, or even, I don't know, another profession that they reached a high level of skill with, right? Because the diamonds are also skills. As every king, when they show up reversed, they can be pretty domineering and tyrannical. So it's not so pleasant when you get that, okay? Okay, so I think that's about it for this little briefing on the face cards. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something from it. So yeah, like this video, you can share and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So I'll see you later. Bye.